Hello, thank you. So, who am I? As you were just saying, I was accepted into every college I applied to, including Harvard, Yale, Stanford, MIT, Princeton, U Chicago, UPenn, M&T's program, Cornell, Brown, Vanderbilt, Duke, Johns Hopkins, UIC, Purdue, and University of Michigan. An important thing for me though is I wanted to go to college for free. So at all of these schools, I applied for their merit-based scholarships. What this means is a lot of these schools have scholarships that can only go towards their institution, but if you receive it, you can get a full ride or full tuition to these colleges. So at the schools that offered these merit-based scholarships, I was able to receive all their top scholarships, like the full ride stamp scholarship for UIUC, full tuition to Vanderbilt, full ride to Georgia Tech. I also got full tuition to Johns Hopkins, being one of their top 20 applicants, and was a presidential scholar at the University of Chicago, and I got USC's full tuition scholarship. Additionally, because I didn't want to be trapped by going to one of these schools because I got their full ride, I applied to a lot of outside merit-based national scholarships. What that means is they can be applied to any college that you get accepted to. So I was able to win over $600,000 in outside merit-based scholarships, such as the Google Scholarship, LinkedIn Scholarship, Amazon Scholarship, and the Cameron Impact Scholarship. What's really great about these opportunities is if you apply for these scholarships and win them, like I have a guaranteed Amazon internship next summer, and then also LinkedIn supporting me in trying to get their internship my sophomore summer. So it's kind of great to have these automatic internships lined up on top of receiving money from these groups to be able to go to college completely for free. I applied to over 100 outside scholarships throughout the year, and I'm really proud to have won over 60 of them. These national scholarships are hyper competitive and honestly a bit harder than even getting into these top schools because these top schools can admit thousands of students, but these top scholarships typically only award 10 students. In the end, I have a full ride to MIT, and I'll be studying electrical engineering and computer science. So, about me, my school typically didn't have a lot of these programs like that help support students with research, and we actually weren't in an ISEF category even, so I wasn't allowed to compete in ISEF. So I found other competitions I could do on my own that would make me stand out. So I did things like the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow Challenge. It's a competition that any high schooler can enter if they have an idea for an invention. Typically, teachers do the write-up, but since no teacher was willing, I did my own write-up and created a team. What's great is once we advanced, they actually gave us the resources I needed to build the invention idea I had. I had a team together and we built a backpack, as you can see on the bottom center of the screen, to help visually impaired students navigate. What was so exciting about this is my teammates had never actually worked with like electronics or coding before, so I taught them how to do so. And we were able to test our device at a school for the visually impaired, and it was really great being able to see it have a real impact on the world. In the end, we actually won $65,000 by advancing to the national finals in this competition. I'd say that's the first big competition I did in high school. It was such a crazy experience as I hadn't really done something like that before, and I learned so much from it that I continued to apply throughout my other competitions. After that, I competed in other things like MIT, and a lot of these top colleges have their own competitions you can enter into. Like MIT has the Lemelson MIT Invent Team program. What that is you can set a write-up on an invention concept you have, and they will pay you $7,500 to get all the resources you need to build your invention. You can actually see it in the top center. They flew us all out to MIT to present our project in the end. So I submitted an invention concept. It told me I advanced, so I got a team together, and then we worked on creating this invention together. So you don't need to be competing in some of these hyper competitive ISEFs and USA Computing Olympiad. Especially if your school doesn't have access to these same resources, you can always create your own chances and find these competitions on your own. I also started my own nonprofit. It's about distributing native plant seeds, these things called seed libraries. It's in the bottom left corner of the screen. What's great about doing your own nonprofit or other impact-based initiatives is you can apply for nationally competitive grants as well that can help you fund these initiatives and are also great on applications as awards. So like for my nonprofit, I won the T-Mobile Changemakers Award, which provided me $5,000 in funding to continue distributing more native plant seed libraries. This is a really great opportunity. I've received amazing mentorship from T-Mobile experts. They flew you out there for free as well. And also, it was a great award I could put on my application to show the impact I was having through my seed libraries and also to show that I was really excelling in that field of nonprofit work. Also, these competitions can help you get internships and other research opportunities. A lot of you guys were asking, how do you get research opportunities like this? Well, I competed with my nonprofit in a local pitch fest where I was able to get 1,000 in funding, but also the people who ran the pitch fest offered internships. And because of succeeding there, they actually offered me to intern with them this summer. So I'm currently interning there, and these other awards helped me get other prestigious internships there in my high school career as well. So so how did I stand out on my applications? What made me stand out is definitely my competitions. All of my extracurriculars were really completely tied to my competitions. Like at my high school, I founded a STEM club where I just led students in doing STEM-based competitions, like these different invention and entrepreneurship competitions. I won global and national awards in areas I was interested in, such as business law, entrepreneurship, film, debate, and invention. What's really important is that these things don't have to directly relate to what you're applying for. Like I was applying for computer science at most schools, but I still competed in business law, entrepreneurship, and film because I enjoyed those competitions. I also won competitive grants for my nonprofit and to fund creating my inventions. And through my grants and competitions, I've actually won over $100,000 for my nonprofit to fund my inventions and for my high school over the years. So, how do colleges judge applicants? Harvard actually released this during the affirmative action case. And this can really make it clear how important extracurriculars and competitions are to making you stand out. So, a 1 to 6 score is used to evaluate all applicants in 6 different components. Not all are rated equally, like alumni interviews are one of the components, but very lowly rated. The 6 categories used to judge applicants are academics, extracurriculars, athletics, personal, recommendations, and interview. As mentioned above, not all are rated equally. Athletics does not matter for non-athletes applicants. It's present to help in sports-based admissions. The most important categories you are judged on are your academics and extracurriculars. Obviously, academics is things like having a stellar GPA, and doing amazing things like that, which you guys, I believe in you to do. But extracurriculars is also a very important category that can really make you stand out compared to other applicants. In the end, student scores in each of these categories are used to give them a final number on a scale of 1 to 6. So, as you can see, your goal is to be a 1 in as many categories as possible. And to win nationally competitive scholarships like I did and practically guarantee your chance to get into any of these colleges, you need to be a level 1 with exceptional, clear, strong support in your extracurriculars, academics, and other categories. So are extracurriculars that important? One word, yes. Each college receives thousands of applicants each year with near perfect standardized test scores, GPAs, and a multitude of AP courses. These days, having these automatic stats are actually just the bare minimum when applying to these schools. You have to be able to stand out in these college and scholarship applications in areas like extracurriculars and things that cannot be quantified. So receiving these extracurriculars and awards are truly essential to making you stand out from the crowd and succeed in your applications. My essays were mainly about my extracurriculars. Like people were asking what we did our personal statements on. My personal statements was just talking about my STEM club and what it meant to me to be able to change my school by winning this funding to create a makerspace and being able to teach other students through my club, and doing these competitions together. Although you can score well in the academic section with just good stats, the best overall score would likely be a 4 below, which is not good enough to win scholarships and get into these colleges. So you need to go beyond these numbers that are just like GPA and test scores and really focus on extracurricular development and awards. So how do awards factor into your application? So this is direct from Harvard's rating system again. This is how they judge extracurriculars. The best score you can receive for your extracurriculars is unusual strength in one or more areas, possible national level achievement or professional experience, a potential major contributor at Harvard, truly unusual achievement. So what this means is they want national level achievement or professional experience. The way you can show this exact things is by competing and winning competitions. This can really show that you'd be a potential major contributor at Harvard or any school. They all use very similar grading strategies and can show truly unusual achievements if you're able to succeed in these fields. What's even better is a lot of these competitions can help you get a lot of professional experience too. Like through winning the Lemelson MIT Invent Team competition, they paid for me to get a patent on my invention, which really was a great way to gain some of this professional experience. So, do I need superhuman skills? That's a big thing that a lot of students think I am just not going to be the legend at math I need to be to win these math competitions, or I'm not naturally a legend at computing. No, you can just like be pretty good at what you do. But there are many different types of competitions in many different fields that you can excel in that are not typically the math, computer science things that a lot of students compete in. So for me, I didn't do any of these big competitions on the call, like the USA Computing Olympiad, USA Math Olympiad, or many of these big debate competitions, simply because my school didn't have access to them. I did start a debate club my senior year and lead them in a smaller global virtual competition called International Public Policy Forum. I would definitely recommend competing in that. But I found different competitions from the main ones that most students do. And this way, I was able to win and stand out despite not being an absolute legend in math. So, for example, if you run an impactful nonprofit, you can win nationally competitive grants. If you have a really good invention concept, you can enter it into pitch competitions and present it. If you're passionate about environmental activism, there's competitions for that. I did a lot of those and had a great time with them. And if you're passionate about something, there is always going to be a competition for that field. These competitions are far more winnable than some of the main Olympiads that students spend years studying for. And what's great is they can make you unique, as not many students are competing and winning competitions in these diverse fields. So, how do you win these competitions? Well, I have years of experience receiving global and national awards in a variety of fields. It took a lot of time competing and failing to learn what judges are really looking for in these applications. If you want to find competitions that align with your interests and learn what it takes to win these competitions, I have a five-step winning strategy. Hire me to consult with you. And also, you can always check out my YouTube channel to see some of my inventions that I've made. Yeah, my maker portfolio on there, as well as some of my entries to some of these competitions in the past, as I've done a lot of different film editing competitions because I find those fun. I've done animation. I love environmental activism too, and there's competitions for that as well. Even just Googling competitions for environmental activism, you'll find a ton of them come up for high school students. And by competing in these, not only did it help you stand out on college applications, but I was able to get my internships by winning these competitions. Being able to put them on my resume, explaining that I'm able to make inventions like this, was able to get me my research internship at a national accelerator laboratory. So even if you don't have access to these things that a lot of students have, like research, you can create your own chances, found the clubs at your school to get these leadership positions and lead other students in these competitions, and really be able to stand out, even if you don't have access to as many of these other more typical types of competitions and achievements. Thank you.